What's going on, everybody? We are going to talk today about the Orthos Raider S4 in this wicked camo pattern right here, which some people are calling the Binelli or the Turkish Benelli clone. And some people are saying this is probably the best value for performance when it comes to a semi-auto shotgun. And there's a lot of reasons for that we're going to talk about here today. This thing absolutely thumps, doesn't it? Now, there are a couple rules when it comes to a gunfight, and that's going to be making holes, stopping holes, and God forbid, plugging holes. Now, HRT Tactical can help you with that. They've got an assortment of different plate carriers and armor available on their site, along with all kinds of other soft goods to carry your kit around. They make those soft goods for your hard lifestyle. Make sure you check out HRT Tactical if you're in need of a plate carrier, duty belt, or anything else to carry your kit. Let's talk about the importation stuff. So, a lot of, if not all of the Turkish Binelli clones are coming out of the same factory, at least that's my understanding. However, this one is very much different because there are only a few pieces that are actually from Turkey on this one, and everything else is being made here in America. So basically the parts that are from Turkey is going to be the receiver, the bolt, and the barrel. However, when Orthos Arms gets these parts in, they go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. They dehone everything, they burr everything. The barrel is chrome lined, just like a Benelli. All the springs in there are made in America. And then all the other parts and pieces on this thing are made in America as far as I know. Well, let's go through all of the other parts and pieces that are on the Raider S4 Binelli. So from the buttstock to the business end, this is their force recoil control buttstock system here. It has a carbon fiber adjustable cheek comb right there. So if you've got a taller face or taller cheekbones, you can adjust that to your liking. As you can see, I'm running that hollow optic on there, and it has a riser, so I needed to rise that up. It's also adjustable for length of pull, and it's got these shock absorbers on the back, which I can tell you this system does work. You've got kind of a normal rubberized grip for this style of stock on here. And then as you can see, obviously that Raider camo pattern on here, which is why it's a little bit more expensive. And then it has a titanium nitride trigger, a titanium nitride bolt. We do have an extended bolt release, a standard Picatinny rail that comes across the top, ghost ring sights on this one, and you're going to have a slightly extended safety lever on there. And coming forward onto this, you're going to have a very nice M-LOK rail with literally M-LOK slots for days around it. It does come with the rail covers. It does come with the stop here and the hand grip right here, and you can move those around as you see fit. You'll get an extended charging handle and a factory sling mount in the front. And one of the coolest small pieces of this is the magazine tube, which holds 7 rounds, is actually carbon fiber, which is very nice. Up on the front, you're going to have a clamp over the barrel and the tube, which is going to give you Picatinny on both sides for your lights or anything else you want to put on there if you need a mini bayonet on your shotgun. And one of the coolest things about the shotgun is it is completely ported, which is what allows this thing to shoot so fast and so flat. Ultimately, this thing is very solid. You're also going to get a couple of extra chokes with this, including a breacher's choke. If you want to go ahead and smash some doorways with this thing, you can do that at your will. If you guys like seeing things like this new Orthos Arms Raider S4, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That's going to do a few things for you. One, it's going to make sure you don't miss any videos when things like this come out. 2, it's going to signal to the YouTube algorithm to push this video to other people, maybe some of which have never seen Second Amendment content before. It can help change their mind. And 3rd, it'll just put a nice stick in the eye of the anti-Second Amendment crowd. And if you guys are interested in anything that you see here today, I will have a build list linked in the description down below where you can do all of your own research on everything you see here today and maybe find some ways to not pay full price. One of the big things I want to go over with this one is just show you the difference between how this recoils and how another really popular semi-auto shotgun, the 940 Pro from Mossberg, recoils, and we'll take a good look at this. And because the camera guy, Austin, had to get a piece of the action too, he shot both of them as well, and you can take a look at his footage here. Now make sure you let me know in the comments down below who controlled the recoil better, the camera guy or me. We all know it was me, right? All right, one of the things that always comes up is, can you ghost load a Turknelli, a Benelli clone? So if you don't know what ghost loading is, you're basically getting some extra shots. After you load your magazine tube, you're gonna pull the bolt back, not all the way so it locks. You'll insert a shell, push it down so it's on top of the elevator, and then slightly go forward, put one in the barrel, and you are now good to go with some extra shots. And now we'll make sure that this thing is gonna run 100%, all of them, and have some fun. And that is a ghost. And that's how you knock over steel. Out on the range, this thing has been pretty outstanding. We did have the first, I think, 250 rounds or shells through this thing today. So that is a pretty decent day with a shotgun breaking it in. And we fired a lot of low power stuff today. Several different low powered rounds. We even fired a sock round or a beanbag round through this thing, just to see how it's gonna run, because there is a break-in procedure for this shotgun. You're supposed to shoot high brass, high velocity, 1300 FPS or higher when breaking this thing in. But overall, the thing just runs. The issues that we did have, we'll get out of the way right now. Running some of the low power training ammo, we had one failure to extract all the way, stovepipe kind of issue. And then on the beanbag round, that's meant for pump shotguns only. I was just really curious. Put it through there, and obviously the bolt didn't cycle. Other than that, that was it. I ran slugs through this thing. We ran low power through this thing on purpose just to see if it was gonna cycle during the break-in. And then we ran a lot of that training ammo through it, and overall it was a blast. Now my overall feelings about this thing and the price point here. I've seen this thing out there starting at like $11.99 and up to $13.50 from retailers. And the reason a lot of people that have been doing reviews didn't see the price points or couldn't find them is because they were changing some things on this shotgun. I've actually had this one for a while. They are offering some new camo patterns. They changed a few things around, and there are some differences between what you'll see in the photos online, like that Fibertron front sight. It's not on this. This is a standard white dot front and that ghost ring rear, and it is adjustable. So those will be some of the differences you'll see out there. But $13.50 on this shotgun is pretty crazy, because a Binelli M4 is going to cost you $19.99, so let's call it $2 grand right out of the box. And then if you want stuff like this stock, if you want the rail up front and all these other doodads, you are going to pay for that stuff. And yes, I just said doodads on your shotgun. So you have to determine, is a clone as good as a Binelli M4? Because it's probably the most proven, reliable, and most, wanted shotgun out there in the market. It's just really expensive. The good thing is certain clones are better than others. And as long as this thing stays reliable, I think this is going to be one of those clones that can be maybe almost just as good as a Binelli M4, because there are some people that will say you cannot match the machining of the Binelli M4, but this thing seems to be very close. And even though we had a hiccup or two today, it's within the break-in period. I will continue to put more shells through this thing, but ultimately I think it's an absolutely awesome shotgun. But I'm not going to give it the final bill of approval until I get more shells through it. Now, is there anything I would change, or is there anything that did occur with this besides that hiccup or two? Because nobody gets a free pass on the channel. There's one thing that I noticed, and I actually called Jonathan from Tactical Toolbox while we were driving out to the range today and asked him to pull his Raider out and see if he's had the same issue. And what I noticed was, when I was going over this thing with a fine-tooth comb, picking it apart, the porting up here seems to be slightly off to the right. So as I was looking, the section up here that has the pick on it that goes over the barrel, it's almost touching one of the ports, and I thought maybe that it was off-centered. So I went ahead and I took a ruler and went down the sides of that front sight, and lo and behold, no, the porting is actually off to the right side a little bit. It's not going to cause any issues with function. It's not going to cause any issues with recoil management, but it's one of those things where this is supposed to have a much higher QC process and than other Turknellis or Turkish clones of the Binelli M3. And ultimately it's pretty awesome, but that's the one thing that I noticed on here, besides that one failure to extract, eject, and feed running low power ammunition. I know somebody's gonna freak out in the comments that it had that issue, but that was low power ammunition in the first 50 rounds, which you're not supposed to do. I just did it to prove a point here. All right, so there was one more thing that we noticed as we were packing up for the day, and that has to do with the rear QD attachment here in the buttstock that comes with the Orthos Raider S4. Now they did give a QD point in there, a sling attachment, but I'm using my own. And although it doesn't pull out when I was running around doing stuff, if you pull straight down like that, the QD does fail kind of prematurely. And I noticed that when I was kind of running with the back to the truck with the sling on, it popped loose. So that is the only other thing that I did notice, and it happened, like I said, right as we were packing up and leaving. So ultimately, those are the good, bad, and indifferent things when it comes to the Orthos Raider. Now, if you guys like anything you saw in the video here today, that parts list will be down below. You can do all of your own research, pick up anything if you want. Let me know in the comments down below, are you into the Binelli thing and do you want to see more of this? You guys keep doing it on the range. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you all on the next one.